I need help because I'm just over a month on T and I stink so bad. I need help. What am I supposed to use?
Hey guys, here we go again. Welcome back to another video. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so bear with me. I might be a little bit more dumb than I normally am. I might be a little bit more absent-minded than I normally am. But absent-minded or not, today is a whole new day, and what does that mean? Liberals jumped in front of cameras and they hit the record button as usual, and we must attend to this. So let's get into it.
Hi, I'm about to lose some of you and I really don't give a shit. You guys know that all the stuff that Trump is posting on Truth Social is fucking weird, right? You know that this is not normal. I do not want to live in a timeline when we normalize politicians being this fucking weird, cringe, and unhinged. Sincerely. The shit that Gavin Newsom's doing is literally only a response. He's just simply matching energy at this point. But Trump has been on this train for years, posting the most unhinged, crazy, insane shit. Can we bring back normalcy and decorum in politics? Normal people do not act this way. Normal people don't act this way. Period. Point blank. And especially people in positions of power. You are setting the shittiest, trashiest example of a human being that you possibly can. I'm gobsmacked. I really, truly am. If you still support this shit, how? He's on the list! He's on the list! Wake up, people. Jesus.
So Donald Trump declared war on Chicago. It's about to be the largest military presence in American history in Chicago. And I just want to take this moment to genuinely give you my belief. I actually think anybody who supports the regime is an enemy of the state. And I believe that when the power pendulum swings back, you should all be rounded up. I mean that. Take that as you will.
The sky appears blue. I hate your nose rings. Japan is in Asia. Septum ring theory. I love my kids. Has anyone ever told you you'd look prettier without your nose rings? Are you guys ever gonna give it a rest?
Just walking around my small town in a keffiyeh with a Protect the Palestinians homemade tank top. This is not the light. This is the light. Yes, hello Southern Oregon. Free Palestine. Thank you.
I had a mutual comment on one of my earlier posts about Dumpy Dawn and said, I'm glad we can still be friends even though we disagree. And see, I thought I had done a good job cleaning out my friends and followers from all the MAGA. Guess she slipped through. We're not mutuals anymore. So yeah, no, sorry, honey. We can't be friends if you are still supporting that shit stain. No.
My favorite thing to do right now is to be super fucking rude to Nazis. I mean, Trumpers, same thing. It is so fucking fun and so easy. They are such an easy fucking mark. They all are mouth breathers. They all usually have a flag on somewhere. So they're super identifiable. And I'm just rude. I'm as rude as possible. I cut them off in line. I give them dirty looks. I say shit under my breath only they can hear. They will react usually and say, why are you so rude? And I say, why are you so stupid? And then they get really pissed. And then they'll ask me again, you're fucking rude. Or they'll say, you're fucking rude. And I'll say, you're a fucking Nazi. And they'll go, what? And I'll be like, sorry about your luck, man. My grandpa told me I was supposed to beat the fucking brakes off of Nazis. But I'm not violent anymore, so I'm just rude to you motherfuckers now. They do not like that. So much fun. So much fun. I got to tell one that, sorry, bro, but you've been telling us for a decade that being empathetic was weak and woke. I have no empathy for stupid motherfuckers. Get fucked, Nazi. Woo, he did not like that. But they're all cowards, so they do nothing about it. Stupid fucking Nazi.
Okay, here we go. Liberal story time once again. You know, the thing is, though, the turnout's always kind of like the same. It's the usual thing, guys. Like, they're always in their car. They always tell you this story of bravery and how heroic they are and how they put a MAGA person in their place. But the problem is, and you guys see this here, right? Because we have so much public evidence that the liberals have given us in just the past 6 to 7 months alone that it's impossible that we're not actually seeing any clips of these heroic feats that they go through. The only time you ever see a liberal telling off a MAGA person is when they're at one of their protests and somebody goes to question them like, hey, what are you guys doing here? What are you guys protesting for? Then they feel brave because there's hundreds of them. That's when they're super, super brave. And that's when they'll yell at a MAGA person. But besides that, you never see it unless it's a Karen. You'll see Karens throw fits, but they never record themselves. It's always somebody else who'll pull up the camera because it's like, hey, they have a chance to get a Karen on camera. It's just extremely convenient that none of these super duper brave liberals ever pull out their own camera. It just really doesn't make sense. You liberals really, like, this one was better than the usual story times. But again, too much icing on the cake where you guys always mess up. You guys don't seem to learn from each other's mistakes here. Where you guys always mess up is when I called him a Nazi and he was like, oh, he really didn't like that. No, they don't care. This is what you guys don't seem to understand. They really just don't care anymore. Whatever you guys have to say, it has truly, at this point, just turned into empty words. They really don't care what you're throwing at them. You guys truly do need to do a little bit of research on people that vote for Trump, on Trump supporters, on MAGA in public. You guys really need to do a little touch of research on it. To give you an example, a more realistic reaction would have simply been, I called him a Nazi and the sick bastard laughed in my face about it. That would have been more convincing. I would have been more like, did she actually have a confrontation in whatever store she went into to get those bits of food that she's stuffing in her mouth as she tells us her story? But no, you guys just do not learn. And what I don't really get, if any liberal can please jump in the comments and explain this, not in an insulting way. I'm not, well, yeah, I do kind of take little pics here and there, but I genuinely want to know, what's the purpose of these stories? Who is getting impressed here? Who's it for? Is it supposed to be like to hurt MAGA's feelings? Is it supposed to get other people pumped up that are liberal? I really don't understand who it's for because it's so fake. It doesn't make sense who's actually falling for them. But bottom line, it was a better effort than most liberal story times that I do come across. She seemed very confident, very sure in her words. But again, she just goofed up, put a little bit too much icing on that cake. It's getting to the point where I'm starting to think I should make a tier list and we should start grading these as we come across them. Somebody in the comments suggested, hey, you should make a whole video just based on liberal story time. That might not be a bad idea. And then we kind of grade them. And then by like the end of that show, like who was the best one, who was the worst one, that'd be a pretty cool idea. But liberals, what you guys need to do is this. If you want to convince anybody at all that there's any form of authenticity behind any of these stories, you're gonna have to capture at least one on video. We need to see some proof at this point because by now we're in the first week of September 2025. There's been hundreds of clips like this of you guys telling your heroic stories about what you did to the MAGA person in the supermarket. Yet there's not one piece of evidence caught on video. Why is that?
They came here illegally. You couldn't pay me to give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. I don't give a rat's ass. Like, you've got to be kidding me. You think immigrants are the fucking problem? Just say you're racist. Just say you're fucking racist. It's easier that way. And you just look stupid. Just stupid as fuck. Because what the fuck? Why? Racism is just jealousy. You understand that, right? If you're racist, you're just jealous. That's all it is. That's all it is. I think you people are fucking embarrassing as fuck. Yeah, racists are embarrassing, and I put you guys with rapists and pedophiles. Yeah, that's how bad you guys are to me. Yeah, y'all are in the same category. So, yeah, I wish death on all of you.
Florida, just an FYI, you taking away those fucking mandates for vaccines. Don't go to the fucking hospital when your kids are sick or when you have something that you can't fucking figure out. Nothing irritates my fucking soul than people who are like, oh, we don't need vaccines. They don't work. Yeah. So when the ones that do work, that are protected, don't bring your little ugly asses to the goddamn hospital because y'all are doing this on your own. And to all you fucking parents who don't vaccinate your kids, there's a special place in hell for you bitches.
If Donald Trump ends up kicking the bucket before his 4 years is over, and he kicks the bucket due to illness or health reasons, you could thank the Haitians for that. If you know, you know.
You know when you're feeling really hopeful, like you really have this deep hope for something, you're hoping with all your heart it'll happen. And then he walked into the office on September 3rd.
And for those of you celebrating the Supreme Court's ruling of what a woman is, what's going to happen when you, a cis woman, get stopped by police because they believe you're trans? Oh, I'm not trans, officer. Here's my identification. Oh, I don't believe you. You look trans to me. So what can he do then? He can touch you. He can look at you. He can make you take your pants off to show him, to expose yourself. And if you don't, he can put you in jail. Who the fuck does that protect? Because it's certainly not women.
If you are a Trump supporter, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? That man is bringing in the military and National Guard to clean up cities, to stop crime. And you voted for this? You voted for this? That man is boats out of the sea. People that were coming to our country. He isn't positive that it was with drugs. Like, he just shooting people out of the sky. And y'all voted for this? Y'all voted for us to be a safer country? That is wild. That is wild. This guy is separating families and deporting criminals. Yeah, I get he's giving them the option to go with their families, but that's the same thing. It just, what? Because I don't know why y'all voted for Trump.
Okay, so right off the bat, she's a satire account, guys. She's not a liberal who's actually in tears. This is what she does. This is kind of her thing that she does on TikTok. She uses a filter to make it look like she's crying. It would be better if the filter was a little bit more convincing. I just find that the teardrop is a little bit too frequent. But besides that, she's really gotten good at this. Now, why did I play it though? Well, that's simple. Because liberals truly do make videos pretty much while saying the exact same context, but she's using the actual words. You guys actually voted for safety. This is what they're doing. They film videos complaining about criminals being deported because you're separating them from their family. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. You're bringing the army into other states to stop crime. This is authoritarian. Like, it really doesn't make much sense at this point, guys. They have truly lost their minds. So this is a perfect clip to land on a liberal's eyeballs and ears so they can see firsthand what they look like. Do you know this week there's liberal influencers that have actually jumped on TikTok and they're making videos trying to claim that those 11 narco terrorists were no, they were just innocent immigrants trying to make their way into the United States, and Trump blew them out of the water to avoid them coming on over to the United States of America. They're getting to the point where they're that desperate. They are pissed off when Trump actually takes out criminals. They try and find something wrong with what he did. Again, as I've said in the past before, if he cured cancer, they complain that he's putting people out of jobs in hospitals, or that he went about curing it the wrong way, or he used the wrong tax dollars to do it, or he didn't do it with Congress's approval. It's truly no end with these guys, and she proves it in a very sarcastic fashion. So to any and all liberals out there that may come across this video and see this segment, see this clip, this is what you guys look like. And it's not too much to be proud of.
I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this. I've emailed the person. He's not, like, he's just being so vague. He's just like, watch the intro video. You must watch the intro video. There's nothing, like, you can't get around this. I know, I watched it. Like, I'm about to fucking drop this class. Like, what do you mean? Like, why can't you just help your students not be vague? You must watch the intro video complete in week 1. Why is it in week 1 when this project is in week 2? I'm just done with it. Now he's gonna fucking grade all my assignments.
I just fucking realized something, bro. Anti-trans people are fucking gender supremacists. They're gender supremacists. They get off on the idea that they were born the right gender. And they feel like a sense of superiority and accomplishment for it. Just like how some people feel better than criminals and how other people feel better than homeless people, they literally feel better than transgenders.
Popular opinion, and I've said this before, happy people don't try to hurt other people. On the internet, in real life, in general, happy people are just too happy to try to make other people feel unhappy.
The audacity for you to come on my account and say that I look like I'm wearing a hog ring when you look like that, like incredibly fat and bald, which are arguably the two most identifying physical factors of a hog, is incredibly astounding. I respect it. Like, I would never be able to do that. I mean, if I looked like this, I would not have the courage to call other people's appearances, that's for sure.
At some point, I would like to see an amendment to the U.S. Constitution which would allow somebody like Zohran Mamdani to run for president of the United States. Now remember, Zohran Mamdani is an American citizen, but he wasn't born on U.S. soil, therefore making him ineligible to run for president. But what an outdated and backwards rule that is, because nowadays, in this melting pot we call the United States of America, people come from all over the world, become citizens, and contribute to our country. So why shouldn't somebody who comes from another country and becomes an American citizen, works hard here to make a living and a name for themselves, why shouldn't they get the chance to run for president? We're in the 21st century. It's time we add that amendment to the Constitution so someone like Zohran Mamdani has a shot to run for president. But unfortunately, a lot of MAGA supporters out there, a lot of anti-immigrant racists, they're not ready to have that conversation.
When I say that I can't stand talking to people who voted for Trump, this is exactly why. This weekend, I go home to see family for a family thing for Labor Day, and I flew on a plane. And at this event, there was someone there who I know voted for Trump. And I was talking to them about how I didn't have to take my shoes off at the airport. And it was really cool to not have to do that because I guess they advanced their technology enough that we don't have to do that anymore. Whatever. And this is a lighthearted conversation. And unprovoked, completely unprovoked, this person says, well, that's good because it's a civil rights violation to force everyone to do it when we know that there's only certain people who are more likely to, do something on a plane. First of all, a civil rights, like, what are you talking about? Which one of your civil rights says you have the right to wear shoes through airport security? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then on top of that, this is unprovoked. This is a normal ass conversation, and you can't physically bear to not bring up race in a conversation, or to not bring up the fact that you think that there are certain people or a certain culture or a certain race that is more likely to be terrorists than another certain culture or race or whatever. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's the fact that these people are so incredibly brainwashed. They are so brainwashed that they don't even see anything wrong with saying things like that. And immediately I pointed out, and I'm like, what are you on about? Like, this conversation has nothing to do with that. And also, are you advocating for racial profiling at the airport to go through airport security? Like, is that really what you're saying to me right now? Knowing too where I stand politically, is that really what you're going to say to me right now? And I got so fucking annoyed that I just left. Like, what do you want me to say to that? You're just a piece of shit. You can't even help yourself. This is a normal conversation and you can't help but to bring up race or to be racist towards someone or to make some stupid racist piece of garbage comment that has nothing to do with the conversation and adds nothing to what we're talking about. This is why I can't stand these people. This is why I cannot stand to have conversations with these people, because why are you saying that?
Okay, honestly speaking, to all you libs out there, there are certain times that you guys jump in front of cameras and you display, certain flavors of stupidity. Then there's certain times where you just go all out buffet. The full menu's just out on full display, and that's exactly what she did right there. There must even be some liberals out there that would watch a clip like that and kind of shake their head, because the truth is, this person was completely justified to say to her what he said to her. I mean, there's statistics to prove it all. I've had to pull some up just, to make sure that I'm not talking out of my ass here, but the statistics do point at a certain region of the world where this guy seemed to be completely justified to say what he said. And just as a reminder, 24 years ago, there was a certain culture of people that killed 3,000 people in a city of yours. And now that same city is ready to vote this same culture to be mayor of that city. Now, I know you liberals are out there probably saying, oh my God, this guy's just so racist. What a bigot. How can he talk that way? How Islamophobic? And no, it's not Islamophobia, but if there was a phobia to have, that's probably the most justified one to have with the current state of what's going on in other countries, right? But to any and all liberals out there that may share this young lady's views and think that it's wrong to point the finger at a certain demographic for certain actions that have been committed on airplanes, here's a little bit of stats for you that I pulled up. To date, there's been between 1,100 and 1,200 documented aviation terrorism events. And now, thankfully, with today's technology, some of this data is pretty easy to pull up. It's not super pinpoint accurate, as you see, because it gave me between 1,100 and 1,200, but the country of origin where the people that committed these terror acts came from. Saudi Arabia, between 40 and 50%. Egypt, between 10 and 15%. Lebanon, between 5 and 10%. United Arab Emirates, between 5 and 8%. Libya, 3 to 6%. Pakistan, 3 to 5%. Somalia, 2 to 4%. Other countries are all under that. They all take up the other 10 to 20% combined. I'm not seeing any Western countries in there. I'm not seeing any of that type of stuff. I know you guys would like to believe that, but unfortunately, the data doesn't lie. These all are Eastern countries. So this person was absolutely justified to point the finger at a specific demographic of people. I mean, 24 years ago, guys, between the left and the right, there was a saying, right? We will never forget. It seems like some of you forgot. Now, does that mean to shun these people and treat them all like they're bad people? Obviously not. That's not what I mean here at all. These people can come to your country if they come and do it legally, if they have no ill intent and they're willing to assimilate, at least partially, to your culture, and not just bring their culture from their country with them and plan on spreading their culture in the West. Now again, of course, you liberals are gonna look at that and say, oh, that's totally racist. What's wrong with them bringing their culture and spreading it? Because they're destroying your culture. And then of course, the next thing you liberals will say is, well, our culture is nothing to be proud of whatsoever. We've done so many terrible things across the world. You can make up whatever excuse you want, but once your culture would be gone and you're forced to live under a different culture on your land, you would miss your culture pretty damn fast. So in the past, when Donald Trump put travel bans in certain countries, and ones that he put on again recently in this term as well, you guys are looking at that like, oh, he's just completely racist. He doesn't like anybody with brown skin. No, he's looking at statistics and data. History does not lie. You guys, again, always claim to be so highly educated and so smart. You guys pick up on all these statistics and you guys do all your research. How do so many obvious things go right over your guys' heads? You know why? Because you guys intentionally let these things go right over your heads, because it's more important to you guys to virtue signal and act like you're this great, good, empathetic, caring person for all other cultures, from all other countries, and that nobody should be judged. Even if they committed crimes, they did it for a reason. They've committed terror acts for a reason, because the United States has oppressed them. See, the United States deserved what happened to them. You guys have said it several times that Elon Musk has pointed out to you guys, pointed out to the liberals, pointed out to the rest of the world that the biggest weakness that the left has is their empathy. And you guys just can't seem to get a grasp as to why he would say that. You just look at it like that's such a terrible thing to say. It's great to have empathy, but you guys just don't get it, is that you leave your defense down. Your defense should always be up at first. You don't give somebody trust just right off the bat. They must earn that trust, especially when it comes to possible foreign threats that are making their way over your border. When your previous president left that border wall wide open, you guys all should have been up in arms. You guys should have been yelling back then, but you're yelling at the guy that's trying to fix the problem. Well, I shouldn't even say trying, the guy that did fix the problem. But no, you guys just can't see that. You're bitching, whining, and moaning. These are just families that came across with their children because they're leaving oppressed countries and they came here for a better life. But no, this is what you guys just want to believe. There is some good people that came across your border, yes, but they came across the wrong way, and unfortunately, the only way to get all the bad guys out is to get them all out. The ones who came in illegally, illegal aliens, not regular immigrants, illegal immigrants. So once again, you guys are proving to have limited, and that's being kind rather than saying none. You guys have limited survival instincts. I mean, what culture of people does not believe in defending their own country? Alright guys, that is it for this one. If you guys are new to the channel and you're not subscribed as of yet, please consider doing so. If not, if you can like the video, share the video, interact with it in one way or another, that'll be greatly appreciated. Of course, I still have another clip for you guys, and until next video, have a good one guys.
I just left my kid's high school football game and a young teenage girl was wearing a MAGA hat, and I just can't help but sit there watching her thinking, like, you have no idea what you're wearing. You have no idea that what you're wearing is so representative of men who treat women terribly. You have no idea that the group you're fighting for just arrested 400 Korean nationals who chose to invest in our country and brought them here to work here. And instead of honoring that commitment they made to us, we raided them and took them away. We didn't. Your people did. And she's just a girl and she doesn't know. And I'm watching all these people at the game thinking, are they thinking what I'm thinking? Do they know that, like, we dropped a bomb on a ship of migrants and pretended like it was the cartel who get on a boat with 11 other people? Like, that's not what happened. And I don't think, does anyone else think that? Are we all just like in this fog where we're like, well, nothing is happening? Meanwhile, like, every country is actively moving away from us. And then a teenage girl walks by and I think, how? How as her mother did you let her, knowing who they are?